In this video, we are going to be looking at production possibility curve. Some people call it production possibility boundary, and some people call it production possibility frontier. Now, we are calling it here production possibility curve. So what is production possibility curve? It is a curve that shows combination of different products, particularly two different products that are produced at the same time using limited resources. It means this curve will show you different products that are produced, that is two different products that are produced using limited resources, and these two products are produced at the same time. Now, I could have these resources 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is my resources, and I'm into production of letter. I want to produce letter X, then I want to produce letter I at the same time, simultaneously. And if I want to produce letter X, I'll be in need of two of these resources, because I will need one to place this way and the other to place on it. So I will need two resources to have this X. So if I'm producing one here, meaning that I will use 2. Then the remaining one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since I is this way, then I can use the 10 to produce 10 I's. So when I'm producing one commodity X here, I'm producing 10 of commodity Y. So if I want to increase the production of X, then I will increase it. For instance, I increase it by 1 more. So meaning that I want to produce commodity, I want to produce 2X. So if I'm producing 2X, I will need these two resources for this one and 2 resources for the other, making that means that I'll be using 4 of these resources to produce 2. And I will have 8 left. That 8 I can use to produce my I. If you look at it very well, some number of commodity I has been reduced so that we can produce more of commodity X. That is opportunity cost. It means that production possibility curve is working on opportunity cost, that is alternative forgone. For more units of commodity to produce, the other units need to be reduced. That is, the unit of other product needs to be reduced. Now, if you want to produce more of this, now you want to produce 3 of this, that is, you are going to be using 6 of the resources. And you are going to be having 6 left to produce I. If you want to increase the production to 4, you'll be using 8. Because to produce 1X, you use 2 resources. You'll be using 8 of the resources, having 4, because we just have limited resources of 12. So since we have used 4 to produce it, we are going to be having 4 of this of I. So if we want to increase now to 5, making we are using 10 to be having 2 of this. So this is production possibility table, not production possibility curve. You can only have production possibility curve when you plot this as graph. Now, if I want to plot the graph now, I just have my graph here, my PPC graph. So let's assume this is the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then this is for I. For X now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I produce 1 unit of X, I produce 10 of Y. 1 unit of X here, this X axis, produce 10 units of Y. This is the point of intersection. When I produce 2 of X, 2 here, how many Y? 8. 8. I stop at 8 here, 8 here. When I produce 3, how many Y? That is 6. When I produce 4 of X, I produce this 4. When I produce 5, I produce 2. Now, it's not a curve yet until I join the combinations together. I join it together. This gives me my PPC. This line now is a curve. That is my PPC curve. So it is a curve that shows combinations of two commodities, that is X and I, that are produced at the same time using the resources, using the available resources. But let me quickly say this, that there are three situations surrounding this production possibility curve. It can be optimum. The first of it is optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization. Utilization of resources. That's it. I want to write utilization. Optimum utilization of resources. So what do we mean by optimum utilization of resources? It is a situation whereby all the resources are fully utilized. No excess, there is no wastage, there is no remainder, all the resources are used. And the point that shows this is the point along the same demand, is the point along the PPC, is the point along the production possibility curve. All the points we have here, point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, they all show that at each point here, all the resources are fully utilized. When you look at what how we derive this table, you see that we use all the resources. Our resources, we have 12. And we use 2 for this place, 10 for this place, making 12. We use 4 for this one, we use 8 here, making 12. So we use all the resources, and that represents, this indicates that. All the points here. All the points along this, the PPC shows the optimum utilization of resources. And we also have underutilization. Underutilization is a situation whereby all the resources are not fully utilized. And this is going to be shown by any point under the curve. So when you see any point under the curve, this is the curve here. Any point under the curve is it indicates underutilization. For instance, now let me pick this place. Let me pick this point. Let's say this is our. Let's say this is G. If you look at this point G now, normally we are supposed to produce 3 of X here. 3 of X. Then we can still continue, we produce 6 of I. But here at this point now, how many are we producing? We are producing only 3. We are producing 3 of I. And we can still produce 6. We can produce extra 3 more. Normally we are supposed to produce 6, but we are producing 3. That is, we don't use the resources judiciously. That is, we don't use all the resources here. That is wastage. So this is underutilization. So it could be any point down here. So it is when you see any point marked here, it is underutilization when it is under the curve. But when it's above the curve, somewhere here, let's take this place. Let's say this is M. This way. You see that we have produced 4 of X, and what we can produce based on our resources is just what here? It's just 4. It's just 4. When you produce 4 of X, you can only produce 4. But we are saying that we want to produce how many? 8 of I, which is not attainable. This one, we call it overutilization, and this overutilization is unattainable. So when you see any point above the curve, is unattainable. Now, we can also talk about the movement of the curve. When there is increase in our resources, maybe we are having more than 12 resources now, like 24, then our production possibility curve can shift outward. So we have PPC. This time be PPC not, PPC 1. Then this is second, because it moves outward. When PPC curve moves outward, it shows that there is increase in resources, or there is more development, or there is increase in the machinery used, maybe, or they are using better machinery in the course of production. But when it comes below here, if you have another PPC below here, below the first one, initial one, that is the decrease. That is decrease. This is increase in PPC, and this is decrease in PPC. Decrease in PPC shows that there is reduction in the level of production, and that can be as a result of war, or so many other factors that can lead to internal diseconomies of scale. Please subscribe and get more of our videos.